Hello, Divine Ones. This is Ashley for FD 1111 Ministries, home of Tarot, Bible, and Alchemy. So this week's goddess reading is the divine, the great Sekhmet. All right, this is the Egyptian goddess, and pretty much it's about balance. That's what I really feel strongly about balance. This also reminds me of, in the Rider-Waite deck, the card for Cancer, which we do have that eclipse happening in Cancer, the Chariot card, okay? And it says, you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Happy outcome, all about Cancer. So I'm going to read like a couple notes that I have here. So by the time you watch this video, that this will be like around the eclipse time, although this is a timeless message. So on January 10th, here we have the Cancer solar eclipse, and in Vedic astrology, the full moon eclipse happens in Gemini on 2020 January 10th. Okay, so this is a very powerful eclipse anyway, and this is the follow-up to that Capricorn eclipse, which I will have that link down below. So what's happening, I'm just going to read a couple of these notes here. So the full moon eclipse will be in Purnavasta Nakshatra, and it's related to the divine mother goddess Aditi, and the personification of the identity and the mother of many gods. The divine mother energy takes ideas and bring them into the heart, leading to a greater compassion. So this is all talking about, like I'm saying, about Cancer, although in this astrology setup it's happening in Gemini. So I would call you to also check out that reading or any types of posts about Gemini and things that have been happening in Gemini. So getting to the reading here, one thing that I feel like that is going on is like the balance. This almost feels like the Justice card and about balancing things out in our life. So going from Capricorn, which is actually a highly spiritual and feminine energy. If you do a lot of research, there's 3 stages of Capricorn, where you have the crocodile stage, which is like do or die, or just live for the moment. And then you have the goat, which is survival and climbing up the mountain, climbing up ascension. And then the final stage is the unicorn stage, and that is the aspects of the awakened mind. So that's one aspect. And then you have Cancer, which is the evolution, and of the 6 and 9. And this represents like the spiral, but the spiral that goes in the opposite directions. So this is talking about evolution. So through our hardships and through our trials, tribulations, through testing, that we are able to evolve. So we're going from one circumstance to another. This is talking about the paradigm shift. Okay, so regardless of when you're watching this, that you could apply this into your life. All right, let me see where the Spirit would like for me to go from here. Give me a second. I feel like a lot of the awakening of the feminine energy, so we already know about that. Like that has been coming through for the collective a lot, but it's coming through from what most will call like a masculine sign because of take action, discipline, and all that stuff. But it's going from that lower level of consciousness, like the crocodile, all the way to the awakened stage of the unicorn, all the way to the evolution. So this is talking about that revolution to evolution that I've been making reference to for like the longest time, pretty much since I started. Okay, we got jumping cards. All right, we have the Daughter of Wands, fire. We have the Father of Cups, water, and then we have air, and this is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So refusing to take some type of action, although you have been led and prompted to take action. This also seems like some type of secret circle or sacred initiation that someone is moving towards. And we have the rainbow. So the rainbow is connected to not only Archangel Raphael that I did a video on, but it's also connected to our last week's goddess, which was 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and the fertile energy, the fertility energy. She's also represented by the triple moon goddess as well. So this is definitely talking about a sacred circle of sisterhood right here. Actually, all three of these cards feel like a sacred. Somebody's taking like an oath or something. And the oath doesn't have to necessarily be with other people. It could just be an oath between themselves and God or their spirit guides or whoever the energy may be. And they have made an oath. This could have been in the past. They could have made some type of oath. And now they're moving forward to another form of initiation. For others, this could be someone actually joining a coven or some type of other steady group. It's like a sisterhood almost. I'm just seeing where the spirit wants me to go. Yeah, this definitely seems like a sacred circle of sisterhood. Also seduction as well. I did post this over on the Patreon page. I did post a meditation. It's moving from how do you connect your sexual energy with your brain, and taking that sexual energy and connecting it with your thoughts, your intentions, and grounding in the middle ground, and how to use that energy to bring some type of change, to balance your energy. I also hear chi, or even she. I hear she's a dangerous one, for whatever that may mean for someone. And I feel like it's one more. Okay. Well, it's a couple more, actually. Okay. All right. I'm going to get into those in a minute. So some of this may actually include singular channel messages. We have here loss and movement. So for some, we're moving from a lot of things that we have lost or shedded. So this more so seems like someone that has like lost a lot of weight. It could be physical weight, but it more so is talking about emotional and mental weight. So they can ascend, so they can go to the next form of initiation. So they had to lose a lot of that was holding them back. Almost like sandbags on a balloon, like on the air balloon, hot air balloon. It was holding them, grounding them, keeping them from ascending. For some, that could have included relationships. For others, it could have just been like the relationship within themselves. Yeah, someone is definitely joining a some type of sacred sisterhood or something, coven or something like that. Another thing, yeah, receiving messages. Actually, that other goddess I was telling you about, 𝗕𝗓𝗓, she is also connected with spiders. The same thing with goddess Athena, Minerva, all of that. And I had I was sort of kind of in between sleep, and I thought I seen a black spider in my hand. Then when I partially woke up, I could see like out of my out of my right eye, but it was like almost clearish type of like a web being woven. Another thing that brought me back to, I was like, what in the world? When I woke up, I was like, what is that? What's going on? And another thing that came to mind when I woke up is a dream I had years ago, like literally maybe about 8 years ago or something. And maybe not that long ago, but maybe about 6 years ago. And I had this dream where it was a spider weaving this web, and the number 49 and 51 came up. I'm still not exactly sure what those numbers exactly mean per se, but I'm pretty sure that the spirit will show me what they mean. But that is all talking about, you know, how things start to come together and form together, and how you have been, if you really like take a moment and step back, you can see how everything has been weaving together to form divine timing. That's one thing, but to form your life, and how things have always been at play. The divine hand has always been at play at your hand. I mean, at your hand, at your on your behalf in your life. I did get some new cards, which I will have listed down below. in the description box. So one thing we're going to talk about on the Patreon is working with the different, or achieving different energies, and how to seek guidance or step into that energy of these different goddesses and angels and stuff. Look in a book. Whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring the insight you seek. It's part of my new fairy deck. Okay. Yeah, I definitely know for sure someone is going into some type of priesthood or something. With the book here, that's talking about studies, but it also is talking about getting different recipes, conjuring and all that stuff. I got another deck here. Okay. I have to really shuffle this one. Flyer. Okay, trust. Egg moon. So something is being formed, incubated. One thing we have over here is someone's divine partnership that has been incubating, and they have to come under the authority of their priesthood. So that's one thing that has been sort of like in cosmic holdup, if you will, with the cosmic egg, the incubation period. And it's one thing about this that reminds me of something I was listening to. I was listening to a video, and I can't remember exactly what person was saying it. I think it was TD Jakes, but regardless, they were saying that, oh no, it was Joel Osteen, and he was saying that you know, things may not seem to be moving as fast as you wanted to move, or, you know, you may have tried to give up or something like that. And it's because it's other people that are at play. You know, we are all interwoven like that spider web. So by me going through a certain situation affects another person, another group of people, that affects another person, then next affects another person. So we're all sort of kind of like woven together. So when you're in a certain situation, you're not just in it by yourself. You're there to gain some type of knowledge, as well as to lend your energy and your knowledge and your information to others along the way, regardless if it's intentional or not. So many of us with these divine partnerships may be like, well, you know, I've been doing my work and stuff like that, which is true. But the thing as well as that, like your divine partner, they have to incubate. They haven't hatched yet. Another thing, another way of how to look at it too, is that when you guys know that you're sort of kind of balancing out, is when time is not really a factor. That's another thing about the mother sitting on the egg. She doesn't count the minutes. She doesn't count the hours. She just knows. She just feels. She just sits until after she feels her baby pokes through the egg. You get what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, well, dang, you should have been here by now. You know how we, as humans, we have timing for everything. 9 months. Okay, it's 9 months and a day. Where the baby at? But it's a little different, you know, when you're talking about natural flow, seasonal cycles is different. Okay, and so you are in the season of hatching and bringing forth something new, but don't count by human timing. All right, it's a seasonal thing. Things start to bloom in spring. Okay, it doesn't have like a split second, like the timer goes off and it's 1 minute after springtime. So where's my little chick that I've been sitting on for a while? Another thing too, I have to bring it up because this is good advice that really helped me. Now, this is what TD Jakes said. He was like, you know, you can send out a prayer request or an intention, send an intention or something, and then you change your mind because you're so emotional, and then the package has to go back. It's almost like how you go online and you order something, and then you change your mind in the middle of the package coming to you. Like, oh no, I don't want it, or it's taking too long. So you call and you cancel, and then you change your mind, you call it back. So that's what keeps things in limbo when we are not energetically balanced as well. This is almost like the High Priestess card and being very balanced in your energy. You know, knowing that it's going to come and just knowing how to align with the divine timing, meaning cycles, seasons, allowing that flow of information and calmness to come to you. The physical and the spiritual paired together. She knows. That's it. She just knows. Give me a second. So with these birds, now in alchemy, with the different birds, you have here the swan, which definitely represents like twin flame connections. But with the swan, right here, what the divine spirit is saying is like the swans of alchemy, it represents like surface level transformation. So what the spirit is saying with that is like individuals that like to seek the finer, not really finer things, but like they think that the twin flame journey is only one way. Like, oh, it's romance, and it's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and blah blah blah, whatever. But it's not just surface level. Like the swan just floats on the water. It doesn't really fly too high in the air like an eagle. It doesn't go deep down in the water like a dolphin or like a sea turtle or something like that. Okay, let me get this card. So what the spirit is saying with that is like that you have to really get in alignment with this soul contract here and really dig deep and know what you're in, the agreement that you made. Yes, you will have all of that and then some. However, you can't just be surface level. You can't just like float on the surface and expect to have a deep connection. It's going to be very shallow. Or you're going to keep yourself in a cosmic, I hear, turnover. Like you're just going to keep going over and over and over again. So this card that came through, bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Yeah, so with that, bring love into the situation. 333, unconditional love. I hear soulless. Soulless, like console. Expect a powerful change. New moon eclipse. So that eclipse is a full moon, but however, rolling into that new moon, we have another powerful change with all that Capricorn energy. I hear being released. And when I hear the word release, it's like this bursting through of energy. But before it busts through, it's like almost like a little hole, if you will, of air coming through, almost like how you have a balloon that's filled up with all this air and you just sort of kind of open it up just a little bit and a little bit of air comes through, and then eventually you just squish it, you just squeeze it with your hands, and then like the air starts to pick up. So things will start to pick up, but first it sort of kind of have to build a momentum a little bit. I'm just seeing what else the spirit has. You're going to see a lot of healers, celebrity healers come through and step to the forefront. Now, they may or may not say exactly that they are high priest or high priestess or their exact title. One thing when I did this message about the 2020 recession in spiritual businesses, one that came through very strong was Katy Perry and her priesthood and her healing abilities. She's in some type of coven. Now, I don't know if they will call it that per se, or what her tribe is called. And yes, she is going to be doing some things this year. Now, I don't really watch TV. I don't really, get into all of that, but she keeps popping up. Her music may start to change, or her like image may start to change a little more towards the esoteric type of way. But you can sort of see that was coming. The couple videos I have seen, and this was years ago, that she was like doing some Egyptian type of thing. And you can see, looking back on that, with all of the symbology in her initiation that was coming through. but it's going to start to, it's like it's going to change a little bit. She still is going to have, she's like already a high priestess of some sort, but she's going to bump it up a notch or something. But it's going to be more public. But it's not like it's going to be like, okay, I am this. It's going to be like little references that people that may know symbology or that may, already practice it, they may know, and they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. And sending out like this code or something over the masses. Most will be oblivious to it, but others, when it falls on the ears, and it reminds me of the scriptures like, those that have ears, let them hear. Of course, we all have ears, but that means like if you have the ear to hear what is really being said, if you have that ear to hear the frequency, if you have the ear to decode what's going on. So a lot of them are going to start saying things, and a lot more individuals are going to be able to understand what they're saying, and they're going to receive some type of peace and healing from it. But the unsuppression of the feminine energy is going to really bump up during this whole Capricorn type of season. Because like, remember I was telling you the 3 stages of the Capricorn. We're going from the crocodile. I mean, many have already went from the crocodile, which could represent like the 3D. And then going into the goat, 4D. And then moving into 5D, which would be like the unicorn. And before the end of, like, by the end of 2021, the world would be a lot different. You're still going to have the 2 ends of the parallel, because things have to still balance out, However, like, the parallel will change, if that makes sense. So instead of like this face of like, instead of black and white, it will be like gray and off-white, if that makes sense. Like, instead of just straight hot and cold, it's like warm and then not so cold or something. It's like the parallels will still exist. Parallels will still exist because it has to balance everything out. But the face of parallelism, that's a word, will change. Because it has to go up, it has to spiral up. Like, the evolution has to spiral up. And for those that are just refusing to shift in the paradigm, it's almost like settlement at the bottom of the ocean or the bottom of a cup or something. It will get left behind, and eventually they will, I don't like to really use the word, but I'm going to go ahead and say it, die off, because they refuse to awaken into the step into, I hear the glory. But another thing too, it reminds me of like, if someone refuses, like, say for example, if like it was a plane wreck and you wrecked in the jungle, and then there's like 20 survivors, but 5 of them refuse to move. They want to stay near the plane and just stay there and wait for something to happen. But everybody else is leaving. The other 15 are leaving to go, because they know that it's something out there better, freedom out there, healing out there. It's almost like those 5 that will stay behind and waiting for something to change, but it's not going to change without them making a step forward. It's a co-creation type of thing, co-creation. All right. I'm just seeing if there's anything else. I hear Jersey. It could be New Jersey, or it could be a Jersey like playing on teams or something. That could be a reference to just sports. And I hear the Celtics or something like that. And I'm not into sports or anything like that, but that could just be a reference of like how the power play is with these 2 teams. That could be making reference to countries or individuals or personality types. I hear the struggle in home and memory. I also hear memory foam too, like someone's reaching back in past memories or something. Crossing parallels in timing shifts. A lot of conscious activity. So these eclipses are great portals to move something forward. So I'm going to get into on January 24th with the new moon. It's another Vedaic, I think I'm saying it wrong, but Vedaic reference. And I don't remember, it's something the Saktra. Anyways, basically what's happening is like another chance of victory. And I'll have that. I'm just getting into that aspect. That's another thing that I knew I was going to get into eventually in my life, but the divine spirit is really having me to really push forward in that. And so I don't know all of it off the top of my head, but whatever I know, I am more than happy to share because I love it. But anyways, I'll have it listed down below. And it's about something that at one point, so I'm gonna go in like a couple different ways. So one point, you could have tried something in your life and it didn't work out, and then you have this other opportunity with this propel from the eclipse energy moving into this new moon to activate that change, to really push forward. And another way of how it happens is that generational, those habitual attitudes, thought patterns that have been passed down from one generation to the next, which they will call, quote unquote, a generational curse. You can read that in the biblical text. You can read that throughout a lot of the ancient literature. But anyways, what happens is like that as well, we're able to break a lot of the family ties and bonds. And then globally or countryly, but in different countries and different cultures, they're able to break through a lot of things as well. So it's on mass scales, going from the least to the greatest. All right, so I hope that this helped. And I feel like I should be picking this up and see surrender. Look at that, beautiful. Surrender. If you're interested in joining the Patreon family, membership link is down below. We have free monthly readings over there, personal free monthly readings. And then I've also started to do like list ritual information, working with goddesses and angels, and as well moon information, just like a lot of new stuff. I changed the tiers up. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about 2020. We're getting into the spiritual boss babe stuff. And I'm just so excited. But anyways, I'm not going to talk your head off. Personal services, all that stuff down below. Love you guys much. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.